So, Arsenal 2, PSV 2. Kenny Ken, we absolutely slapped them over 2 legs. The tie was done in the first leg. First and foremost, I know it's now the 13th of March because it's gone midnight. But happy birthday for yesterday. Whilst the game was on, it was your birthday. So happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Good. You're alive and well. You've seen Arsenal get to a quarter-final of the Champions League against Real Madrid.
Yeah, remember last year when it was my birthday, we got to the quarter-final on penalties against Porto. So it's history.
Why do we always play on your birthday?
Hey, I'm not pro for it, mate, because that's certain. My favourite thing is watching Arsenal play. So having that on my birthday is brilliant. But family, I got taken out by the family. Got me little presents, and I think if you look at the atmosphere of the Emirates Stadium, there were not as many empty spaces as I thought there would be, but it was like a very calming atmosphere. I have to say,
carnival.
Calming.
Oh, calming. Sorry.
Yeah, because I think what's happened, we knew what the score was. We knew how bad PSV were, and our manager made 7 changes, which, to be honest, it was the wisest thing he's ever done. But if you want me to be honest, he probably should have left all those 11 players out. He didn't really need to play Martinelli, although I can understand him doing it because he's come back from injury. Ben White we need to have a look at him.
He played all right.
Yeah, Ben White did all right, but there were certain things that made me think, oh my God, Ben White, done for pace. But I think even if he wasn't, rusty, I think we still got issues there. Sterling got the man of the match. And let's face it, he worked his nuts off. He scored.
He played well. That was his best performance for us this season. I know we got a short window.
Yeah, I know we got an extremely short window, but he was easily our best player on the pitch. He deserved his flowers. Desperately needed a goal, desperately wanted a goal. He's going to be out the first leg, but let's face it, man. I don't think he would have been used. He's probably going to be used in the second leg if it gets catastrophic. But if you think about the situation, is that plus side is that we didn't lose, but the negative side is, they got a couple of goals. But it's understandable. But I didn't like their second goal. I didn't like
the second goal. It was a great finish, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I didn't like it because our good friend Jorginho was involved again. Showed that he's a bit off the pace, especially against some hard-running teams. Good chip. Their first goal, I didn't like that as well. Perisic as well. Again, it was one of those things where players have been manoeuvred out of position, but the positives are Sterling. Got fouled for the first goal. Shevchenko's put the brilliant goal.
Oh, what a finish.
What a finish. And then Sterling, nice little header by Declan English. And it was one of those things. It was one of those things where you're thinking, you know what? It's all about Chelsea. It's all about preserving the top 4.
It was all about getting out of that game without injury.
Of course it was. And that's the such thing. I'm hearing talking about the match and, the impending match against Real Madrid. I'm hearing worrying things to some of our fan base. First and foremost, a lot of our fan base wanted Real Madrid. And I need to say, well, let me tell you something now about this Real Madrid side. This isn't the Real Madrid of the Galacticos, where they had, Guti, Figo, Nizar de Lima, the original Ronaldo, Zidane. That team just went out and played. That team didn't have the tactical nous. It just was better than everyone else. This Real Madrid team, especially under this guy Ancelotti, if you look at the final against Liverpool in 2022, you look at the final against Dortmund last year at Wembley, it was very much a Real Madrid workman-like performance. They played low blocks in both of those finals, and they basically hit, firstly, Liverpool. Vinicius Junior got the winner in Paris, straight from the counter-attack when Liverpool were on the attack. When Courtois, although being the busy player, although Real Madrid had less possession, they used the little possession they had very well. In the final against Dortmund last year, Real Madrid run the cost. Dortmund had most of the play, most of the possession. But who scored the 2 goals? Real Madrid. They know how to get over the line. They're not going to be stupid enough and play open football when they can concede a couple of goals and it's a case of them having to go to the well. They're going to think, right, you know what, we're not going to lose this game in North London and we're going to go to Madrid and make it comfortable ourselves. They'll be happy with a 1-1. They'll prefer it if it's all sneaky 1-0, and then it's the onus is an Arsenal to come out, and then they can have spaces. But this Real Madrid side, you saw it in the semi-final you saw it in the game against their rivals, Atletico. It's not so much their mentality and the fact that Atletico were intimidated. It's the fact that Real Madrid just know how to get over the line. They know how to
hang on.
They know how to hang on. They missed a penalty. One of the worst penalties we're ever going to see. But when it came to the penalty shootout, their big boys turned up. Obviously, their captain missed a penalty, but it's one of those things where don't wish Real Madrid, because no one wants to play Real Madrid's competition. Real Madrid, it's a bit like PSG yesterday. They're like, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Remember, they struggled to even get into the last 16. They had to come through the playoffs. And that's the problem with teams like Real Madrid. You have to hit Real Madrid when they're vulnerable, because when it gets into the business end of the Champions League, they're at the most dangerous and the most fruition. And that's where Arsenal have to be at their best when they play against Real Madrid. However, another worrying thing I'm hearing people saying, we might need Saka. Please. The reason why I do not want Saka in that game, you saw how rusty Martinelli was. You saw how rusty Benjamin White was. You want 11 athletes in both those legs. It could be a situation where you can play 210 minutes and play penalties. You want athletes. You don't want passengers in that game. Doesn't matter how great Saka is as that player, how much he's our best player. If he's not 100% fit, I don't want to see him on that field. I want to preserve Saka's career. He'll be just a passenger. I want to play with 11 men. That's why, selection-wise, Miles Lewis-Skelly, his temperament was a lot better today. I was very impressed with that, but I still have reservations in the quarter-final. Obviously, people say, yeah, but there's other games as well. There's Chelsea. There's before that, there's Fulham as well, and then you've got the quarterfinals. I understand. I respect that, but when you look at our season, we're not going to win the league. So you have to really start getting your sort of crystal balls out and start looking at the permutations and look at the battles we're going to have against Real Madrid. And the reason why we're talking about it is because we didn't learn anything today. As you said before, Lee, we're 7-1 up in the first leg. This leg was about PSV playing for pride and us trying to give injured players or fringe players run out.
Yeah, keeping their fitness up. Ben White got cooked quite a few times, but I think coming back from the knee surgery he's had with hardly any games that he's played, I thought he dealt with it all right.
Well,
one thing that did pee me off though, right? I don't know why Rice played. Yeah, although he scored a great goal and it was a great cross from Sterling, he cooked both of them down the wing. It was a great cross, but I don't know why he played. Right? Not only that, the two young lads that are sitting on the bench, Butler, Oyedeji, and Cabia.
Nah, I think
just throw them on.
Yeah, you say throw them on. You've got to remember one thing, right? Is that you can't give appearances like confetti. I can understand it's a nothing game, but it's still a Champions League game. Remember, you've got to remember Kieran Tierney doesn't get much games. He needs a game.
He's man of the match, by the way. I don't want to hear it. He's man of the match.
Yeah, but you look at Zinchenko. He 100% needs a game. So does Sterling need a game. And I think as much as you want to make wholesale changes, and it's a very tempting thing to do, you still want to keep most of your spine, and that spine is Declan Rice, it is the goalkeeper, and it is my guy Gabriel Magalhaes. That is definitely our spine. So you think of those three players, they've got to play. Obviously, Marino now somehow he's our main man up top. So you've got to have kind of a spine, because if you make wholesale changes, it was ragged today anyway, but it'll be absolutely ragged. But I do understand where you're coming from. You want
second half.
I know it's second half. You're probably, but then again, he's probably going to need Martinelli in Madrid. So he needs to give Martinelli a few minutes. And Martinelli's probably going to have similar amount of minutes on Sunday against Chelsea. Zinchenko could be an option. He is a first-team player. I can understand where you're coming from a man management point of view. Morale wasn't very high. Manager's under a lot of pressure. A lot of people are questioning him. Even his friends in the media are questioning him. So last thing he needs is to have a couple of pissed off players fringe players thinking, hang on, you take the mickey? What, you playing these kids before me? Come on, let's take it a bit. Let's go a bit strong. I'm going to understand if when Yeri plays ahead of me and Mars Lewis Squelly, they've earned their flowers, but these lot haven't. So I think it's a difficult one. But I know from a football fan, like thing with Arsenal fans, one thing we love more than superstars is local lads coming through, especially youngsters, because in essence they are one of our own. Because they come through the system, we like to see him sink or swim. You know what I mean?
No, I hear it, man. I hear it. Listen, appreciate you, man. Yeah,
That's
we
all
got
right. Don't
Real
worry about
Madrid.
it.
Yeah, good luck at the weekend against Chelsea, of course. Happy belated birthday, because obviously
No,
it's the day
definitely.
after now.
You've got to
At
remember one
least you
thing.
didn't see us lose. You see 4 goals. You've
Yeah,
had a good day out.
that's the most important thing. You've got to remember one thing, right? The league games, as much as the Champions League's a priority, the league games are going to be a bit tricky because at the end of the day, we're playing teams. Chelsea are looking to get us consolidate a top 4 place, so that's going to be odd. We've got Newcastle as well, vying for the top 4. Bournemouth is vying for Europe. Fulham are still feel they got a chance of getting in Europe, because remember they all, and Newcastle obviously the last game of the season, home game of the season, they're vying for Europe. So you think about our last home games, you've got a lot of teams. A lot of these games are going to have something on it, and in Crystal Palace they're going to want to play for pride because we smashed them at their ground 5-1. So it's not going to be very easy. And as I said before, previous fan cams and the podcast. I'm struggling to see where next win comes from because of the way teams have approached us and the way teams have found us out. But we've got Real Madrid. I think a lot of people are going to be, instead of giving their tickets away, they're going to be scrounging tickets. You know what I mean?
Listen, love you always, man. I'll show
Love
you
you
Insta
guys.
in a minute. Kenny Chem 1972.
Speak soon.
We're out of here. Love.